Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to St. Pius X High School today as Fountain City Athletic is set to take on Chivas, Kansas. Tonight's starting lineup for Fountain City Athletic: Harrison Enos will be your starting keeper. Derek Carson making his first appearance for the team at left back. Long awaited first appearance for Nasiru Banahini, former pro out of FC Hanka in Finland and most recently LA Galaxy in the MLS. Next to him at center back, John Asongo, my apologies. His third straight start for the Fountain City Athletic. Nico Rivera is back in the lineup at right back. Kelvin Osai, Alessandro Rubio, and Caleb Fannin are your middle three. And Scott Jarvis gets the start on the left, Albert Kime on the right, and Cody Bland starting up top at striker. Long awaited delay, but we are finally ready for some soccer. It's 7:01 p.m. Kickoff was originally for 6, moved up for 5 p.m., delayed for 2 hours, and now here we are at 7 p.m. getting ready to take the field. Fountain City Athletic coming off a 5-0 loss against Dodge City in their last time out. Took a squad that, most likely isn't going to be playing together a whole lot at the same time. But they played well together for the first 60-ish minutes, and then the fatigue set in. The last 30 minutes, they just took over, and it made it hard for Fountain City Athletic to do anything offensively. Today, with our more preferred starting lineup to last week, we're hoping for a better result against Chivas, Kansas, who currently sit ahead of us on the table after taking home a 4-3 win against KC Legends in Week 1. 2 of the 3 goal scorers in that one will not be here tonight as they are playing down in Houston Texans for a cup, a money cup, indoor money cup. We'll be back here in a little bit for the start of the first half. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, just moments away from kickoff now, as we await Fountain City Athletic and Chivas, Kansas. Again, tonight's starting lineup for your Fountain City Athletic. Harrison Enos is starting at keeper. Nasiru and John Conde Asonga are your two center backs. Derek Carson out at right back. Nico Rivera out at left back. And then through the middle, you'll have Kelvin Osai, Caleb Fannin, and Alessandro Rubio. Cody Bland is the starting striker. And Albert Keme, the captain, will be at left wing. Scott Jarvis will be at right wing. We are underway here. First half started. Chivas, Kansas with the ball. Again, Chivas, Kansas coming off a 4-3 win week 1. This is just their second game beating KC Legends week 1. Long ball over the top into number 22. Early danger for Fountain City Athletic to deal with as we have a bit of a kit clash tonight. Black on navy blue. Ball whipped across and Nasiru's there to deal with it. Ball last touched by Chivas, Kansas. Chivas, Kansas looking to possess now here. Albert Keme cut out well. Caleb Fannin now gets it to Bland. Bland looking back now for Fannin. Fannin on the wing. Fannin looking to make a move on Wainwright and can't keep it in. A few players I do recognize from Chivas, Kansas is that center back defending right there was, I believe his first name is Joe Wainwright, player of the Comets. Number 11 here, captain for Chivas, Kansas, that's Daniel Malhue, formerly of Colo Colo Youth Academy growing up in Chile. Came to Kansas City as a part of the Comets, played 2 years there. I believe he had around 11 goals in 40 appearances and now finds his way onto this Chivas, Kansas team. Ball mistouched there by number 22, and it's given back to Fountain City Athletic. Derek Carson looking to throw it in. Over the top to Bland. Good touch, but not to anybody in black and blue. Well, I guess that's not true because Chivas, Kansas is wearing black and blue as well as Caleb Fannin does well to cut the ball out in a dangerous spot. Alessandro Rubio onto his left foot. Hit, blocked, and cleared away. Dangerous turnover there by Chivas, Kansas, and Alessandro Rubio was looking to make them pay for it. Here's Chivas, Kansas now, and Caleb Fannin there to collect in the middle again. Over to his teammate at William Jewell, Nico Rivera. And back to Nasiru, tonight's debutant. Osonga, bad pass. Nasiru there. Again, Nasiru last playing professionally with FC Honka in Finland's first division. Managed 3 appearances in UEFA Europa Conference League. Made his way to America by way of LA Galaxy, where he was then injured and unable to make a roster. As Albert Keme now on the wing tries a first-time ball. Is that the right decision? Probably not. And Chivas, Kansas looking to clear. Out of bounds for Fountain City Athletic. But yeah, like I was saying, Nasiru Banahini was playing in Finland's first division. LA Galaxy liked what they saw after his team was relegated, brought him in, and he was unfortunately injured during training. Caleb Fannin now. Right-footed shot, great save. Scott Jarvis goes through the back, but a great save there and another great opportunity from Fountain City Athletic. Nasiru found his way to LA Galaxy And now over to Kansas City, where he's trying to get back into the swing of pros soccer, get back into fitness, recover from his injury. Derek Carson's beat there on the wing. Dangerous here as the winger's showing some good speed. Got Derek Carson crossed up, and Banaheni Nasiru is there to clear away. Corner kick for Chivas Kansas coming up. Looks like they want to go short. Talking about how Scott Jarvis is within 10 yards. Ball whipped in. Through to everybody, and that wet turf is going to carry that one out of bounds. Good idea. Ball whipped in. Banaheni clears away again. Shot goes off the head of Osai. Out of bounds for Chivas Kansas throw in. Two dangerous opportunities right there by Chivas Kansas. They're looking to have the better of the possession right now. Ball through into Malhue. And they're going to say that one was already out of bounds. Goal kick. Ball sent down by Harrison Enos. Cody Bland through the back of Wainwright, but Wainwright does well to let that one run. Chivas Kansas has shown that they want to be patient. They want to let things come to them. Find the gaps, don't force the gaps. They've been doing a pretty good job of that when they're able to get the ball out of their back. Alessandro Rubio putting the pressure on that one. And it's going to continue to run down the line, and Derek Carson does well, but puts it right into the path of a Chivas Kansas player, and a long touch, and Harrison Enos is there to collect. Need to be on your toes right there. Going long is Enos. Cody Bland going to let it run. Scott Jarvis looking to run through. Wainwright, first one there. As far as Fannin. Over to Rubio. Jarvis. Jarvis on the wing. Miscommunication with Rubio there, who is looking for the overlap. And here comes Chivas Kansas. Good step there by John Osongo. Foul right there on, it looked like, number 12 from Chivas Kansas. Scott Jarvis does well to win it. Kelvin Osai on this free kick. Looking for the long switch to Kime, but nothing doing right there. Straight into the arms of Chivas Kansas goalkeeper. Rubio with some pressure again. Good 1-2, but a misplayed ball out of bounds. Derek Carson throw this one in. Looking over the top for Bland, nothing doing. And another clearance straight to number 22 of Chivas Kansas. And Malhue's through. Enos, nothing doing. Gets past Enos. Oh, and Nasiru's down. Nasiru goes down. Offside's called back. But that's not good. First game back from injury. You're already feeling it. We'll take this stoppage right now to give a thanks to our sponsors tonight. Charger Go Go KC, Speakeasy Go, and Comfy's our 3 uniform sponsors this year. And they're waving them on. Unfortunate, this is now the 2nd player for Fountain City Athletic to go down non-contact. Both of them being center backs, so that is not good for your depth. Especially with the way that Chivas Kansas has already been running down. He's already had to make a couple of big-time clearances. It's going to be interesting to see what he's able to do here. Chris Fannin warming up on the bench right now. Looks like he's holding his hamstring. And it looks like a change will have to be made here in the 10th minute. Very unfortunate, but it's time for Chris Fannin to make his entrance into the match. Looks like Kelvin Osai will drop down into the center back position, and Chris Fannin will come in to fill in the role of where Osai was at 6. But again, very unfortunate from Nasiru. First game back from injury. Good ball through to Cody Bland, but a little too much on it. But again, first game back for Nasiru from injury. Looking to try to get back into fitness. Looking to try to get back into the pro game using Fountain City Athletic. And is pulling up with a non-contact hamstring injury. Very unfortunate. Chris Fannin definitely looking to make his impact in tonight's match, though. Ball down the wing. Looks like it was Rivera trying to chase. Wainwright does a good job, though, to usher that ball out of bounds. Be very interesting to see what kind of absence Nasiru leaves. But Caleb Fannin looking to get the touch on the ball. Wainwright does well to defend that. Not a very great clearance. Nico Rivera looking to get it back into the swinger. Alessandro Rubio's header goes wayward. Cleared away. Back with Rubio now. Over to Fannin. A little lazy on the touch, and it's with Chivas Kansas now, and they're looking to break. Malahue does a good job, though, to slow it up there. You can tell Chivas Kansas have very good chemistry with each other. Definitely one of the things that they'll have over on Fountain City Athletic tonight. Still just second game that most of these guys have played together. Ball sent across the Malahue. Can he keep it in? Not able to do so, and that will be out for, it looks like, a throw-in. Chivas Kansas working the ball nicely now. Scott Jarvis looking to get to that one. Alessandro Rubio still sticking a foot in, but Chivas Kansas finds a way to keep the ball. A ball again over the top for 11. Malahue cuts it onto his right foot past Nico Rivera. He's going to be a very hard guy to stop here tonight. Back to Wainwright, 19. And Thing about this Chivas Kansas team is they're very composed, very professional. A lot of these players are pros in indoor, as well as former pros outdoor. Good movement here by Chivas Kansas. They're making Fountain City Athletic do a lot of running right now. Alessandro Rubio's first there, and Cody Bland, he's not offside. First touch lets him down a little bit. He's still on the ball. Tried to get it past Joe Wainwright. No one there in the middle for him. Still fighting for the ball. Still fighting for it is Cody Bland. And that is going to be tucked away. Good defense there. 2v1. Nobody in the middle for Fountain City Athletic for Cody Bland to look for. And then uncharacteristic misplayed pass there by Kelvin Osai, looking for Albert Kimme there on the left wing. Here into the 15th minute. Not a lot doing for either team. Both teams with 2 shots have some decent opportunities, but it's that final pass or that final touch. Both teams doing well defensively to shut it down. It's turning out to be a beautiful night. Glad the game did not get canceled. Malhue now to Wainwright. Scott Jarvis tries to intercept, just tangled up under his feet. And Chivas Kansas again looking to go slow and play from the back. It works when you know your teammates. You guys are knowing where their players are checking in, where the runs are being made to and from. Very good football here so far from Chivas Kansas. Scott Jarvis headed away, only as far as number 7. Back to the middle by number 12. And Harrison Enos is there to collect off of Derek Carson's interception. Derek Carson, the oldest player here on the field tonight. Don't quote me on it. I'll have to pull up his birthday, but I believe he is 38 years old. Good tackle there by Alessandro Rubio. Cody Bland now with it, looking for some options. Gets the switch on to Kimme now. Kimme, good ball to Bland. He's onside, but a little... Oh, he is offside, but a little too much there. I don't think he was offside. A little premature flag from the referee there, but then again, there is no VAR. I could show them the replay if they would like, but I doubt they would take my replay into account. Ball whipped across to Malhue again, and he's going to be the target man for Chivas Kansas tonight. Looks like the switches are going to him majority of the time. Ball on through to number 5 now. Bad touch there. Nico Rivera is there. Gets it to Osai. Osai looking to clear it up. Just to the middle, but Caleb Fannin put some good pressure on to get the ball to Rubio. Now Chris Fannin. Thought that Cody Bland would be making the run, but he was in fact checking in there. Ball over the top again. There's John and Kelvin are going to have a lot to do tonight, that's for sure. So not having Nasiru there and making Kelvin play a little deeper than he's used to may come back and hurt Fountain City, but so far so well for Cale Finn on the ball, but so far so well for Kelvin Osai in the middle. Oh, that's a dangerous tackle there. Stud straight into the ankle as Fannin gets it past him. Ball kicked away there by number 23, and he's going to have a talking to by the referee. That's a moment that these referees are trying to eliminate, is the fact that the players are kicking the ball away. He's saying one more, giving him one more opportunity with that. But yeah, Derek Carson, born November 16th, 1991. That will make him 35 this November. So 34 years old, made him a little bit older than he actually is. Apologize, Derek, if you watch this back. Good ball over the top by Kelvin there. Just again, that turf is going to carry those balls out of bounds every time. Rained here for about 3.5, 4 hours. Chivas, Kansas milking up the clock. Referee having to tell him twice to move back, and still not far enough back. Still not far enough back. And finally gets to where he is. Ball cleared up the sideline. Nico Rivera fighting for it. Wins it. Ball still with Nico Rivera. Done well there by number 7, though, to cut it back out. And Nico Rivera's ball chasing now. He needs to get back into position. Number 8 and number 7 are there on the right side. Ball switched over. No communication there from Albert and Kelvin. And Chivas, Kansas has the ball in a dangerous spot. Number 8 now. Going to reset it with number 5. 5 going to look to whip one in from back deep. Asongo does enough for the time being. Kime gets it to Caleb. And Caleb's looking to break. Not a lot of options with him. Over to Scott Jarvis. Jarvis looking to get the ball through to Rubio. Deflection on that one, and the goalkeeper cleans it up to keep it from going out for a corner kick. 20th minute now here. Still 0-0. Already a substitution being made in the 10th minute by Fountain City Athletic. Debutant Nasiru goes down with a non-contact hamstring injury. Chris Fannin made way for Nasiru. Pushed Kelvin Osai back into the center back role, and now he's occupying that 6 as his own. Offsides there on the ball through. So right on midfield, I assume. Just over to Asongo. Asongo looking for Jarvis. Just needs to take it down there. Looking for the flick on with Bland, but again, the miscommunication and the lack of chemistry there. Bland is not really expecting that to come through one time from Jarvis. Not a bad idea by any means, but just not well executed there by Fountain City Athletic. Asongo does well there. Fannin on the second ball all the way back to Enos. Fountain City's going to look to reset now. Ball over to Carson. Good first touch. Still Carson. A little behind Jarvis, but good idea. Chivas, Kansas has looked to play these resets quickly, fairly quickly most of the time. Trying to catch Fountain City Athletic off guard. Ball cut out in the middle there by Caleb Fannin. Good feet. Dangerous sliding challenge. Still Caleb Fannin. His brother Chris picks it up in the middle. Gets it back to Osai, and Fountain City are looking to reset. Rivera. Poor first touch. Leaves it in the air, and now 7 is breaking on his right. Osai does well to cut it out and get it to Fannin. Fannin all the way back to the keeper. Now Asongo. Chris Fannin. Good football here by Fountain City Athletic. Derek Carson up the sideline, just outpaced. Chivas, Kansas trying to break fast now. Just looks like 1 or 2 missed passes and they could be through. That one a little too much. Goes out of bounds. Fountain City Athletic are going to throw it in. Captain Kime telling him to calm down a little bit. Oh, good throw to Fannin. Fannin looking for Bland, but sliding challenge from Wainwright. Cody Bland in the middle looking to catch the keeper off his line just over the top, but Cody Bland in the right spot with the turnover there. Just not able to get the finish that he was looking for. Nico Rivero not able to cut that out on the fly up, and they're going to say that he touched that. Game's starting to slow down a little bit here. More pockets of space being found by both teams. It's really just who's going to be the first to take advantage. Songo outreaching. Scott Jarvis back to help Carson. Still Chivas, Kansas working the ball around. Looking for the switch, but Caleb Fannin tracks back to get that one. Albert Kimmett racing. Good tackle there by number 5, but Caleb Fannin again collects and passes it to his brother Chris. Rivera now finding Kimmett. Poor pass by Kimmett, but tries to do well to get his body back in front. Not too sure about that one. I thought he was there first. Oh, and I don't know. I don't know about that one. Whenever you have the ball and your arms are up by the defender's face, there's not much you can really expect to get anymore, but the ref gives it to him. Moving ball on that free kick. Should be a turnover now. I guess now they're going to let him re-kick it. But again, with that one, you got elbows up at Fannin's face, and he's just trying to keep his arms down from getting smacked in the face. I'm not too sure about that one. Pretty easy to go down as well. But we play here. Chivas, Kansas gets the ball into 11, who now looks to seem to find himself more central in the field. Wants to get on the ball more. Pass Chris Fannin. Still Malhue. Shot is blocked. And that'll be out for a corner kick. You can't let that player get in those type of spaces. Reaching on a player like that can only end in bad things. Corner kick here for Chivas, Kansas coming up. Gone short and quick. 14 to whip the ball in. Back post. Nobody marking. Header gone over. Fountain City Athletic needs to pay a little bit more attention on those free kicks. Back post left unmarked. Harrison Enos's goal kick headed away out the middle by Chivas, Kansas, and now down the left wing again is 22, going at Carson. Ball sent to the middle. There's nothing there. You're diving as you're kicking it. It'll be all the way out for a Fountain City Athletic throw-in. No foul there on Caleb Fannin, and ball one in the middle again. 23 now for Chivas, Kansas. No one in front of him. Jarvis to challenge. Still Chivas, Kansas with it here as we enter the 29th minute. Malhue lays it off. Alessandro Rubio does a good job to turn him around. But again, you got to stop reaching on number 11. Good things will happen for Chivas, Kansas is if Fountain City Athletics center backs continue to reach. Albert Kime loses the battle. On the wings, 7. And Osai does well there to kick that out for a throw-in. But like I said, that's 4 or 5 times now that Asongo and company have missed challenging for Malhue's quick feet as he picks the ball up here in the middle. Scott Jarvis does well to force an errant pass, and Fountain City Athletic finds himself with time to catch their breath a little bit. Ball sent up. Cody Bland challenging for that. Gets the flick on. Scott Jarvis in the middle, though. Derek Carson's going to have to deal with this one. Gets it up the wing nicely. Scott Jarvis not there for it, but does a good job to come back and win that one. Keep it in. Get it back to your keeper. Enos with a bit of a miss hit, but ball bounces through. Scott Jarvis being back. No one there for Fountain City Athletic right now. And I'm not sure about that one. Derek Carson looked like he got the ball. I'll give a throw-in definitely to Chivas, Kansas, but ball in quickly. Chris Fannin there gets it to his brother Caleb. Now Kemme. Kelvin. And Fountain City looking to slow things down a little bit. Been forcing things here for the past 5 or 6 minutes, so good idea. And Chris Fannin touch lets him down. Good play there, but just a missed kick, and Fountain City finds himself outnumbered right here. Ball over to number 7. Good numbers coming back now. First move sends him past Kemme. Asongo does enough for now. Shot gone wide. This past 10 minutes has definitely been dominated by Chivas, Kansas. They're getting the majority of the chances right now. That Nasiru injury really showing its dividends right now as another ball up to Cody Bland. Usually that's okay, but I mean, when you have somebody like Joe Wainwright playing center back and guarding him, it's going to be hard to win a header. And to Mahue. Mahue with a good looking ball, but just a little too much on it. Again, Fountain City Athletic has to be careful with him getting into those pockets of space. That's your 6 right there. That's your center backs needing to communicate with your 6 and your 8s to fill those gaps. Not enough communication. Cody Bland looking to get the flick on. Alessandro Rubio wins the second ball in the midfield, but no one there. Mahue on Kemme. Kemme does well. Looking for the foul. Ref says nothing doing. And now Chris Fannin here in the middle gets it over to Rivera. Rivera's first touch takes him inside nicely. Gets it over to Rubio. Rubio trying to cut it back. Still Rubio somehow. Cody Bland now. Gets it over to Carson. Fountain City Athletic looking to push, and Carson's big touch lets him down. Unfortunately, the clearance deflects off a Chivas, Kansas player. Alessandro Rubio with a flick onto Bland. He's not going to get there, though, unfortunately. And again, just final pass, final touch from Fountain City Athletic, letting him down today. Mahue trying to flick on, not able to get good contact, and Kemme goes all the way back to Enos. Enos sent up to Jarvis. A little bit of pushing and shoving there, and Jarvis wins himself a foul. Puts the Fountain City Athletic in a good position here. About 35, 40 yards out from goal with an attacking free kick. And 22 is definitely not 10 yards away. Still not 10 yards away. We're playing on a football field. It's easy to count to 10 yards. And immediately takes his steps back forward. Good ball. Cody Bland not able to cut it off, though. And Chivas, Kansas looking to go quick. Nico Rivero having to run back. Chris Fannin does well to force him backwards. Ball out to number 5 with Nico Rivero not tracking back. Ball cleared out by Osai, only as far as 14. 5 with a good first touch over Kimme. Into number 7, Chris Fannin in the right spot at the right time. Again, very dangerous. Fountain City Athletics just not really looking to play defense. They're reaching in, and Chivas Kansas quick feet is taking advantage of that. Switched over to 14 now. Now Malhue in the middle. He can hit those from there. Over to the wing. Malhue, it looks to have dropped even further now, almost as a cam to get onto the ball. Fountain City Athletic has to deny that. He's going to look to get the ball with his back to goal and make a play. Ball whipped in quickly. 14 looking to get a volley on. 22 left alone. Missed clearance by Fannin. Ball shot across, and that's going to skid out of bounds for Fountain City Athletic throwing. Again, miscommunication and just misplaying on the free kicks and corners. The set pieces have been very challenging for Fountain City Athletic defensively so far. Ball cleared up from Osai. Bland looking to try to get on the end of that one, and it's going to be played all the way back to the keeper. Fountain City Athletic looking to set up a higher line, trying to put some pressure on Chivas Kansas. Ball played back to the goalie, and that one is a pretty soft foul in my opinion. Chivas Kansas is going to be looking for the foul majority of the time, it seems like, as they have been so far in this game. Fountain City Athletic can't play into that, though. If you're going to look like you're fouling them, the ref is going to call it no matter how much contact you actually give. It's hard to tell with a back on a player like that. John Osongo, first ball, not able to do anything with it. Does well on the second ball in a foul. I guess he called the foul because the player was limping, but now that the limping player got the foul call, he is no longer limping. Chivas Kansas looking to do something now with this set piece. Dangerous balls have been played in all afternoon here. Played short on that one. Alessandro Rubio does well to deny the turn, and Scott Jarvis with the second interception wins Fountain City Athletic a throw-in. Well done defensively on that one. Cody Bland now. Wainwright comes through in a high leg. Yeah, if you're going to call it the one way, you got to call it both ways. He comes high on Cody Bland, who's trying to turn. Looks like it's going to be Alessandro Rubio. Nico Rivero, only one paying attention, but ball played a little too hard. Out for a goal kick. Looks like both of these teams have had a problem with that so far, just putting too much on the passes. Fannin over the top to Bland. Bland one-time shot and saved. He was not offsides. Chivas Kansas just gave up on that one. Looks like the first corner kick of the night for Fountain City Athletic, and they're going to get numbers ahead. John Osongo coming up. Cody Bland in there. Chris Fannin in there. Hands all over Chris Fannin. Not sure. Give the ref giving a warning, and the player who is holding Chris Fannin is on the ground holding himself right now, but the ref was standing right there looking at that one. Ref giving a talking to Fannin and the player that ended up on the ground. Definitely not a foul on Fannin. The guy had his hands wrapped around him, hugging him, and then falls with Fannin to come on top of him. I mean, if the ref saw it any other way, then I don't know what he would be seeing. Ball to be whipped in. Good ball in. Clearance first one by Chivas, Kansas. Nico Rivera first to the ball. Back out to Jarvis. Jarvis looking to get up the sideline and shielded well there by the Chivas, Kansas left back. Here in the 41st minute now, Chivas, Kansas looking to slow things down a little bit. Good turn. Switch on to number 7 now, but Osai in the right spot. Fannin looking for Rivera. Cut out. Does well there to win it back with his brother. Alessandro Rubio over the top to Jarvis. Streaking down the sideline is Scott Jarvis. Gets there. Sliding challenge. Nothing doing. Jarvis cut onto his left foot. Fannin shot! And just wide. Great job there by Scott Jarvis to keep that ball alive through the good sliding challenge. Uses his strong feet to get the ball to Chris Fannin. And oh man, that was inches from being 1-0. Jarvis again now. No foul called. Looks like Rivera and Kemme switched. Kemme there with the interception. Slowing it down, gets it to Chris Fannin. Chris Fannin, good footwork. Past the sliding challenge, but the touch drags him too far. Sliding challenge does enough to put him off there, and good cleanup play by number 23 there. Wainwright. Now 14. To the middle. No one there from Fountain City Athletic. Ball sent across, but Scott Jarvis does well to intercept. Harrison Enos's clearance blocked, but nothing doing there. Enos looking for somebody. Again, a big gap of no black jerseys. Rubio looking for Rivera. Still finds its way there. Hands all over each other, and that's going to be last touched by Chivas, Kansas. Kemme to the chest of Fannin. Goes straight through the back, and 23 is going to get put into the book there after kicking the ball away. Every single time 23 has been called for a foul, he has kicked the ball away. Ref gave him a warning after the last one, and that is definitely going to be your last warning. Like I said earlier, the refs are trying to combat that this year, put it into their brains by, league organizers that we need to stop the delaying of a restart. That is the 4th time that I've counted alone that 23 himself has delayed a restart, and that's the reason he's going into the book right there. And I apologize. It looks like number 11 is not Malhue, it's Campos. I just got the roster, so I apologize to any Chivas, Kansas fans watching so far. That's Barcelos. I lied. These aren't the roster numbers, so I have no idea the team's numbers. I do know that number 23 has gone into the book. A good ball there to number 22. Scott Jarvis sliding challenge, nothing doing there. And that's going to be given every time. Scott Jarvis foul, penalty kick, Chivas, Kansas. And they're going to look to go up 1-0 here with 45 in the 45th minute. Definitely not a lot of contact on that one, but does a good job to win the foul. Chivas, Kansas going to look to go up 1-0 here in the 45th minute. Harrison Enos facing his second penalty of the year. Was scored on by the first one against Dodge City last week. Goal. Questionable penalty decision. Weak contact in the box, but enough contact. One 0 Chivas, Kansas. Again, Fountain City Athletics going to go into this halftime break with a lot to talk about. You know, quick adjustments were having to be made after the injury to Nasiru in the first half, but other than that, not a lot doing for Fountain City Athletic. The better of the chances have all gone to Chivas, Kansas. Kime down after that challenge. And Osai does well to win that one. Kime is still down and they're going to go stop the play for that. Took a elbow to the chest. Challenging for that one. 50-50 contact. Ref is hard to see it. Definitely looked like the player didn't need to throw in that elbow. Almost eyes Kime and shoulders into him as I'm watching the replay now. Yeah, touches the ball, eyes Kime, lowers his shoulder, knows he's going through his chest. '48th minute here. Interested to see how much longer this one goes. Nico Rivera on the foul now. Frustration starting to seep in from Fountain City Athletic. Chivas, Kansas just throwing themselves on the ground at every opportunity, and the ref is letting it go. Dangerous free kick here now for Chivas, Kansas, trying to get 2 ahead here to end the second half. Or in the first half. Ball whipped in across. Enos not able to clear out, and that was the final action of this first half. Again, Fountain City Athletic looking the weaker team of the two in the first half. Definitely interested to see how they come out in the second half. A few questionable calls for sure going the way of Chivas, Kansas, but Fountain City Athletic cannot let that dictate this second half. Penalty kick in the 45th minute is what decides us right now. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes. Start second half. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here getting ready to start the second half. Fountain City Athletic nil, Chivas Kansas 1 after a 45th minute penalty kick. Both teams have been pretty even so far, other than that one opportunity from Chivas Kansas. I would say the better opportunities have come from Chivas Kansas in that first half. It'll be interesting to see what Fountain City Athletic does here in the second half to combat the directness of Chivas Kansas. I think step one is definitely stop reaching. First half they were too easy to get past. Number 11 especially found it very easy to find space in behind the midfielders and in between the center backs. So it'll be very interesting to see what Kelvin Osai, John Osonga do communication-wise, first off, with Chris Fannin, the youngster. We are set to get underway. And here we go. Second half here from St. Pius X High School. Fountain City immediately looking to go direct. Caleb Fannin now on the ball. Gets it over to Bland. 1-2 to Fannin. Cut out. Chris Fannin header. Keme does well to hold on to that one. Very dangerous challenge, but again, well done by Keme. Enos looking for Carson. A little too much on it. Turf again. Just wet turf is going to carry that ball every time. Chivas Kansas is definitely going to be looking to slow things down here in the second half. Long ball. Osai heads away. Rivera now with it. Rivera trying to dribble past. Does not do so. And Chivas Kansas is going to look to reset. Good pressure there as Keme comes away with it. And a misplayed ball. And Chivas Kansas is driving with it through the middle. Asongo trying to chase. 11 on the ball now with Chivas. Asongo does well not to foul there at the edge of the box. And Chivas Kansas to reset again. Jarvis now looking for the overlap of Carson. Keeper there at the top of his box to collect. Fountain City Athletic is allowing Chivas Kansas to play the ball in the back right now. 27 into 23, who's on a yellow card. Runs being made from Chivas Kansas, not found by their center backs. A misplayed pass there now. Caleb Fannin on the ball. No foul. Not sure what the ref is seeing there. Nico Rivera comes through to collect. Still Rivera fighting for the ball and does well to get it up the field. Going to go all the way back to the keeper now. This is a chance now for Fountain City Athletic to keep them here. Good ball there by the keeper. A little too much on it though, and it goes out. Wainwright now in the back. Fannin putting some pressure on him. Keme cuts it out. Finds Alessandro Rubio with space. Alessandro Rubio, good touch there to keep control. And a good sliding challenge. 3 blue shirts around him. Chris Fannin does well to force the ball out. It will be a Fountain City Athletic throw-in. Throw by Jarvis, headed to the middle. Picked up by Fannin. Headed over to 23. Drop back down. 23 now. Gets it into 11. 11 over the top for 22. Asongo and a very bad challenge. Looks like a free kick at the top of the box. John Asongo on the foul. Dangerous free kick here by Chivas Kansas, looking to go 2-0 up in the 50th minute. And this would be very detrimental to any type of momentum Fountain City Athletic thought they had if Chivas Kansas is able to get something out of this. I believe 11 is Malahue, and if that is the case, then it will be him to take this free kick. Enos setting up his wall right now. Malahue hits. What a save by Enos. A great free kick, but an even better save by Enos to keep that one out. And that is, looks like Nico Rivero up the sideline, not able to keep it in. Fountain City Athletic not really sure about the decision made there. But I mean, he's down the line. He has the better angle. Again, that's the second time he's had to tell the same guy to back up on a throw-in. Not really sure how many chances you get with something like that. Keme. Now Caleb Fannin flicks for Rivera. Some lightning close by. Back in for Fannin. High boot, nothing doing. And it's going to be played back to Wainwright. Put under pressure by Bland. Done well there by the pro Wainwright. But sent up and out of bounds. Throw into Athletic. Quickly taken and headed by Caleb Fannin. Cody Bland throwing goal. Just needs to take a touch. An amazing save. Put right at the keeper. Cody Bland denied one-on-one. Enos all the way back to him now. Best chance of the game there from Cody Bland and Fountain City Athletic. Good touch by Rubio. And too much there by Caleb Fannin on his way to Nico Rivero. Cleared up by the keeper in a good spot. Kelvin Osai first one there. Ball straight up in the air. Caleb Fannin does well to get there, but put in a little bit of a dangerous spot. Scott Jarvis tries to be the first there. And a dangerous sliding challenge by Scott Jarvis, and he's sent off. Red card is out right now. Scott Jarvis sent off. I'm not too sure about that one. Gonna have to check out the replay myself here. Looks like to me he gets the ball, but And a red card in the 54th minute from Scott Jarvis puts his team in a very bad spot here as they try to climb back. And 23 magically is okay again. Back and walking perfectly fine like he was never touched. And Fountain City Athletic is going to be very frustrated after that one. A challenge where they said they needed a trainer, and now 23 is back up and walking perfectly fine. But red card, Scott Jarvis in the 54th minute. Red card, Fountain City Athletic, Scott Jarvis in the 54th minute. And now Fountain City Athletic will find themselves a man down here for the remainder of this game. He's on top of the ball. You got to call a handball if you're not going to call a foul. That makes no sense. And he delays the restart there. Fountain City Athletic trying to play fast. Frustration really setting in here as they feel like they're being unfairly done. A dive, which you don't call a foul, so that's a simulation. And then a delay over restart. 2 yellow card opportunities right there, none given. Right after a red card by Fountain City Athletic, they're going to be feeling really frustrated with the referee's decisions. Alessandro Rubio is going to whip this one in. Into the back post. Good ball. Cleared away, though, by Chivas, Kansas. Only as far as Albert Kimme. Chivas, Kansas claiming handball. Referee says nothing doing. And now here comes Chivas, Kansas the other way. And again, a foul called by the referee. Fountain City Athletic really needs to get their head back into this one before they completely lose it. Looks like subs are going to be made for both teams. Ocean Comfort looking to come in for Fountain City Athletic. I'm not sure who that is on the other side. Malhue does well to keep the ball on his feet. Strong play there. And all the way through to Enos there. Let's see how Fountain City Athletic reacts for this last 33 minutes down a man. Rubio. Pass one. Still Rubio. Oh, referee! And a foul. That's got to be a yellow card. If you don't foul him there, he's through on goal. Yellow card is going to come out here for number 5. Taking down Nico Rivera as he runs through. Good ball there by Alessandro Rubio. Second one to go into the book tonight for Chivas, Kansas. And again, the player trying to kick the ball away right in front of the referee does not even be seen. Let's see what kind of ball Alessandro Rubio can whip in right here. Rubio gonna just take a shot. Not the best option right there. Now will Chivas Kansas look to attack that side that has a man down now? Very dangerous, as that was the same type of challenge that gave Scott Jarvis his red card. Over to Derek Carson now. Takes a good first touch. And the pressure forces him out of bounds. Sub to come in here now for Fountain City Athletic. Derek Carson coming off now after that one. Ocean Comfort to come on for his season debut here in the 60th minute. Throw in for Chivas. No handball called from the referee. Caleb Fannin looking to send a ball through to Cody Bland. Not doing, but his brother Chris tries to win that one back. Ball sent by Wainwright over the top to Malhue. He'll get on the end of that one. The Songo watching. Still Malhue. And nothing doing there. Nico Rivera does well to win the ball. Ball sent all the way back to the keeper. He's just going to look to clear back up. A little bit of a shove there from number 8 to the chest of Chris Fannin. Ref says good contact. Chris Fannin reaching there. And ball sent through to 22 on the side. Kelvin Osai guarding. Osai does well there. And a foul called on 22, pulling on Osai's back after the ball was won. Some lightning there as we see now far to us. Hopefully it does not affect this last 30 minutes. The radar is saying that we have about 30 minutes left before thunderstorms start back up for the night. So let's hope we can get through the rest of this game. Caleb Fannin trying to collect in the midfield. Not able to bring that one down, unfortunately. Caleb Fannin does well to try to win the ball from Wainwright. Wainwright does a good job, though, to shield him off. And Chris Fannin's there to win the ball back for... Oh, and he's thrown on the ground. And kicked the ball away again. He's going to go into the book for that one. Needs to. Thrown onto the ground. He needs to go into the book. And then a slapping of a hand. I don't know if the ref is seeing what I am seeing currently, but I don't see how any of those actions that he did right there don't deserve a booking. Any of them. A throwing to the ground of Chris Fannin, a kicking away of the ball, and then a slapping of a player for Fountain City Athletic. 3 things in a matter of 10 seconds, and the player is not getting booked. Yet a yellow card is going to Alex Drambor on the bench for arguing the fact that number 10 has just gotten away with that. That is complete and utter. I'm not even going to say it. That is just terrible refereeing right there. Throwing a player to the ground with no even regard for the ball. And now Jeff Ferguson is into the book as well. Player thrown to the ground. Ball kicked away. And then slaps out of a player. Nothing called. No bookings. For Fountain City Athletic to be the only one tonight with the red card is beyond me. Ball whipped in from Rubio. Back post. A little too far from Asongo. But again, I don't fully understand what just happened. I guess the referee being 10 feet away, seeing a player kick the ball away, throw a player on the ground, and slap out a player is better than me seeing it from 70 yards away. But camera picked it up. I saw it. Everyone saw it. Really confusing. And then to give our 2 coaches yellow cards for arguing the fact that there should have been at least 1 yellow in the 3 things that he just did right there. And again, a denial of a restart. How many times are you going to allow this to happen, referee? How many times? You're losing control of the game. You already gave one player a yellow card for kicking the ball away, so I don't understand why that has stopped all of a sudden. Player, ball with not 10 yards there. Ball whipped in straight to the goalkeeper. Nothing doing. No one really attempting for that one. And Fountain City Athletic being down that man, it's really showing here. Ball sent through, not offsides. Kime there to defend. Wins the ball well, but Alessandro Rubio can't pick it up. Ball sent out wide to 22. Sent to the middle, outside there to defend. But again, a very frustrating last 10 minutes for Fountain City Athletic. Goes down a man, and then it feels like that the other team should go down a man as well. Not the case. And we continue to play at 11-10. Comfort, touch goes wayward. Shot, saved by Enos. Corner kick now for Chivas, Kansas as we enter the 66th minute. And the rain is starting to fall again. As long as we get through 70 minutes, the game will be complete. Rubio in the middle. Now to Fannin. Out to Kime as the rain is still falling here. Nothing doing as that long touch is what really resulted in the foul. And both Fannin brothers are reaching there. Ball going to the side down a man. And Chivas, Kansas is definitely going to be looking for just to get through the 70 minutes. Hoping for the game to be ended after that, as if we come into a weather delay here now, it will more than likely be game over. And rain is coming down hard now. .27 now on the wing. Nico Rivera does well. And they're going to say that's a corner kick. And the rain really coming down hard now as we enter the 68th minute. Ball whipped in. Near post. Straight out of bounds. And the rain is coming down hard. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to fix the camera here. Ball straight through. Shot straight to Enos there. Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. Having to move the camera back inside as the rain is coming down now. Rivera looking for Bland, lets it run. Past 12, And you're gonna call that a foul on Cody Bland? That is ridiculous. I genuinely don't understand what you expect from him. 68 minute now. Ref is hoping to get this one through. And that's going to be game, ladies and gentlemen. We did not play 70. Pocket. Good time, yeah. We did not play through 70 minutes. So this game is not official. Not much we could do now. 69 minutes played. You need 70 for it to be an official game. Rain is really coming down right now. We are currently in a lightning weather delay. Please take shelter underneath with the concessions. Thank you. I think the game's over, but the game didn't finish because it's not 90 minutes or 70 minutes. Well, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, depending on what happens with this delay, the last 20 minutes may be replayed at a further date, as you have to play beyond the 70th minute for it to be official, and we are sitting here in the 69th minute. Not enough to call it an official game. Interesting to see what we do here. Ladies and gentlemen, the game is considered unofficial and final. We will be continuing from 45 minutes on with the current situation and scoreline at a later